Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, and a very good pleasant Thursday afternoon, okay, teacher bid to all my beloved students, H2P5. So before we proceed to discuss our plan, okay, so what we have already planned, jom kita baca Al-Fatihah dulu kelas ni untuk dapatkan keberkatan majlis ilmu, okay. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Okay, so please class drop your name, okay? Please write down your name, okay? Writing that you are present. Okay, Chang Chaili ada. Okay, tulis nama dan beritahu saya hadir So cikgu dah nampak dah ni okay. Easy, let's go. Okay, Awais, Assalamualaikum madam. Waalaikumsalam Awais. Okay, Kak Aisyah ajak Jom kelas, okay. Marilah kita masuk kelas. Sophie Elsa ada, okay. Chang Chaili, good afternoon ya. Right, Miza ada, okay. So please kelas keep on chat Hi madam, yes, hi Sophia. Sorry, Sophie Elsa, okay. So please alert your friends to join our class. Burhan Uzaifah, cikgu nampak Uzaifah, tolong inform Burhan please. Okay, so like what teacher mentioned just now, okay, so we are going to discuss the tutorial question. Jadi let's begin supaya kita tak buang masa Okay. So keep on responding to in the chat class Okay, your attendance. Right, okay. So today again teacher Uzaifah dia dengan awal madam ya, cikgu nampak tadi Tania Uzaifah. Awatif pun okay, hadir. Tolong inform yang lain okay, easy semua tolong inform yang lain. Okay, teacher nak start dah ni. Kaisah, Farina tak nampak lagi ni. Auni. Apa tu, siapa lagi ni? Andrew dalam ada Andrew. Andrew nampak dah, okay. Aida Aslina dah ada, okay. Wani, Syazwani dah ada, okay. Teven, cikgu nampak lagi. Haikal, Nazif, Laura, Izzati, Syaf, Dania, Nurin Azika. Okay, cikgu dah seru dah nama kawan lain ni. Tolong let them alert class. Okay, so let's start our discussion. Okay, everybody class turn to tutorial books on page. So teacher now you all check your answer. Okay, it is on page 19. Okay, so let's start discuss that You nampak cikgu kawan di kelas? Okay, so let's discuss our our target ini Okay, so everyone tolong buka your tutorial question page 1. page 19. Okay, soalan pertama, dia minta kamu define enzyme. Okay, so teacher, now you all lihat kat situ kelas ni, 6 marks. Okay, 6 marks, define dengan mention the properties. Okay, so you all refer to mark scheme kat sini. Okay, 6 markah. Pertama sekali, define enzyme CCl01 lah, C1. Okay. Okay, and then after that you have to state the properties. So jadi kalau kamu dekat sini, okay, the first part is about the definition of enzyme. So this one you may exactly get it from tutorial our notes class. So mesti ada apa cucuk kat dalam kelas? Okay, mesti sebut in your sentence. Okay, mesti ada biological catalyst satu. Okay, and then speeding up mesti ada yang kedua. Okay, and then lowering the activation energy. Okay, 3 and remain unchanged. So these are the 4 point yang kena ada kelas. Okay, so you all boleh tulis kat situ. And then next, what are the properties of enzyme? So this one you may refer to our notes as well. Okay, so ada 8 kelas. So kelas 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7, 8. Right, okay, so there are 8 properties of enzyme. Okay, as mentioned, okay, in our notes, you all boleh ambil kelas. So, dia adalah globular protein. From the definition, lowering the activation energy, extremely specific, okay, and does not alter at the end of the reaction, only requires small amount, okay, and then because it's a very highly specific, so it's also highly efficient, extremely efficient, okay, and then one more yang cikgu nak you all alert, this enzyme Tuhan jadikan reversible reaction, and they are very sensitive to extreme pH and high temperature. Okay, so I think that one done, consider done class. Okay, now let's analyze the graph that given question 2. Okay. Okay, from the graph given, you can see obviously. Okay, oops, different ni kelas ni kan. Okay, so mention exogenic reaction. Jadi dia minta you sketch. Okay, you sketch the exogenic reaction to show reaction curve. Okay, you have to plot the reaction curve, right? If an enzyme is removed from the reaction. Okay, kelas So yang warna merah ni yang sedia ada. Ini is already given kelas the red color cikgu tunjuk ni kelas Okay, it's already given. Right, okay, so this is an enzyme which is kelas Okay, so this is curve to show with enzyme. Okay, this is with enzyme. So soalan minta kamu sketch. So you have to sketch the progress of reaction kat sini higher. So dia masih lagi sama kelas. The concept of apa tu? Peak dia masih sama Okay, tengok semua Peak dia masih sama, but you have to sketch without oxygen. Without enzyme. Okay, as you can see here, without enzyme, the energy. Okay, the energy involved is larger. Banyak diperlukan higher Okay, kalau ada enzyme lower. Jadi this is the graph yang kamu kena sketch. Because so you all sketch on the make sure the transition state is same Okay, cuma amount of energy je berbeza. Okay, now how to explain the answer? How you're going to put in sentence, okay, to explain this situation. Okay, anyone boleh drop in the meeting chat macam mana nak explain? Okay, so sketch dah, kita dah sketch. Okay, now you need to explain So you just ambil kelas Okay, when there is no catalyst, okay, no catalyst reaction occur, so the rate reaction becomes slow and activation energy become high. So that's why tadi referring to the graph that teacher showed just now. Okay, you can see here class the energy level become banyak high. Ini rendah So with the enzyme, the lower the activation energy. No enzyme, no catalyst, it will slower the reaction and need atau require high energy, high activation energy. Sorry class high activation energy. Okay. Okay, then soalan C tu kelas, dia tanya dua factor. Okay, this one already mentioned just now dalam kita punya properties, extremely pH, extreme pH. Okay, and then it's already given temperature and cofactor are two factors that affect. Yes, there are some enzyme require cofactor to enhance their chemical reaction. So selain pada temperature, yes, of course pH and also substrate concentration. This one, okay, you are going to detail nanti when you learn about inhibitor. Okay, you can see the effect nanti kelas You all boleh tengok the graph where you need to analyze the graph. Okay. Okay, so then soalan D. Danu, kita nampak lagi Danu. Wal Ahmad Burhan hadir, good. Filza hadir, yes. Syafika hadir. Cuma tak nampak lagi Danu, Steven, Laura hadir, okey. Nazif hadir, okey. Steven semua kelas. Tolong alert let them know okey. Haikal hadir, okey. Alright, so explain how enzyme are denatured by high temperature. Okay, this one, okay, class is actually referring to the properties of enzyme as a globular protein. Okay, enzyme is a globular protein, class Okay, so enzyme is a globular protein. Allah. Okay, as a globular protein. Okay, so as a globular protein, it mentioned here, okay, sebab dia protein globular protein, so it mentioned here the polypeptide chain. Okay, where if you still remember when you learn about this globular structure, a globular protein structure, where it consists of this class hydrogen bond, disulfide bond. Okay, kalau you still remember okay, bentuk S ni, okay, ionic bond. So this is one point. Okay, when when the temperature increase, biasanya more than 41. Badan kita kelas okay, kalau kita demam 39 tu dah agak tinggi dah. Right, okay. So that means 41 and above tu dah dianggap high temperature. Why? Because with this temperature, with this high temperature kelas okay, it will trigger the enzyme molecule to vibrate. Okay, sebab you all tahu enzyme ni is a globular protein So when this enzyme trigger atau vibrate by the high temperature, ini menyebabkan all the covalent bond, okay, the non-covalent bond will break. Like teacher mention je hydrogen bond lagilah you all as you all know, hydrogen bond ni memang sensitif okay. Apa ni kepada juga suhu tinggi, okay. And then disulfide bond and ionic bond. Okay. And then the polypeptide chain open up and randomly arrange. Ini yang menyebabkan the three-dimensional globular shape tukar kelas Okay. Ataupun dia denatured, what we call as denatured. Okay. So this is the enzyme considered as denatured. And when the enzyme is denatured, there is no more active site that act as a template. Okay, so active site dah tak ada dah untuk jadi template kelas for the substrate. Okay, polypeptide tu ada kelas wujud lagi tapi the active site yang tak ada So ini menyebabkan the active site is no longer complementary to the substrate. Right, so acetic site ni yang cannot bind to the substrate anymore. Jadi what happen class? The effect is it will slow down the reaction. Because okay, so done with that. So kalau ada soalan boleh drop in the meeting in the chat. Boleh kelas soalan 1, soalan 2 consider done. Okay, next turn to page 20. Okay, this is actually the mechanism of enzyme reaction, and I believe soalan ini bukannya asing bagi kamu kelas you all dah familiar with this diagram since your secondary school your form 4. Okay, you totally can observe. Okay, so bila tengok saja kat sini you all dah boleh identify dah what is this molecule all about So please drop in the meeting chat class. Okay, what do you think is 3? Okay, name 3, name 4, name 5, name 1 and name 2. Senang kan? Right, okay. So what is this model? Kita ada induced fit model dengan model key and model lock and key model. So from this figure, obviously it shows the precise atau exactly kelas yeah, so that means is okay, yang kita belajar sebelum ni kalau dalam kita ada key and lock model. Okay, key lock model. Okay, so key lock model ni is very precise. Okay, tu pun cuma dalam ini kamu tengok shape untuk nombor 1. Okay, jom identify dulu apa 1, 2, 3 kelas Okay, number 1 is substrate. Number 1 label is substrate. Number 2 of course the active site. Okay, active site kelas jawapan ni cikgu cari active site. Okay, number 3 will be the enzyme. Number 4 will be the product. Okay, and how about number 6 jap. Okay, tengok. Number 4 is the number 4 is the product number 5 is the product kelas. Kelas ni salah ni number 5 is the product Okay, number 5 is the product. Number 4 is the enzyme substrate complex. Enzyme. Okay, substrate complex enzyme substrate complex number 4 where the enzyme the substrate bind to perform ESC. Okay, ES complex Alright, so as you can see here, the active site of the enzyme, okay, this part sama kan? This part sama, exactly the same But this part, kalau tengok kat sini, not exactly the same So in order to fit the substrate into the active site, okay, this model scientists propose as a induced fit mechanism. Induced fit mechanism. Boleh kelas okay. So next, how does the formation of structured label 4? So label 4 tadi sebab apa kelas? Enzyme substrate complex. So substrate is already bind ataupun correct orientation okay, forming correct orientation complementary to the active site of the enzyme. Okay, so this is a very important step kelas okay, where enzyme really play a roles to lowering the activation energy. Okay, so active site act as a template where substrate can be react, right? Okay, so how does the active site play a role? Jadi, okay, the active site will bring the molecule close to each other ataupun you also can use the correct orientation. Okay, correct orientation. So when this substrate is already in the active site of the enzyme, it will help to break easier the bond ataupun dia akan stresskan bond tadi. Okay, bonding yang terbentuk pada substrate tadi akan jadi stress right. Okay, so this will allow the substrate to achieve transition state. Okay, this will. Jadi kalau you tengok balik pada nota, okay, fahamkan balik apa itu transition state, then you will understand how you nak elaborate, okay, atau you nak answer this question ni kan Okay, so tolong tengok balik kelas on page 58, 59 and 60 Okay, so where here you especially apa tu? Page 59 lah Okay, page 59 where apa tu? Number 2. Okay, because activation energy is proportional to the difficulty of breaking the bond, distorting the substrate helps it approach. Okay, and the transition state and thus reduce the amount of free energy that must be absorbed to achieve that state. Because okay. Okay, so properties enzyme is which is very specific. Okay, why enzyme is so highly specific? Jadi as you all understand, okay, having specific active site, this will allow the specific substrate having a precise complementary shape. Okay, jadi bila ada precise complementary shape between substrate and also between the active site of the enzyme, okay, so the ESC terbentuk kelas enzyme substrate complex terbentuk, so barulah boleh berlaku enzyme reaction. Okay, so enzyme reaction can take place. Alright, so settle that one. Next, we move to soalan E. Okay, soalan E ini you all boleh actually get the answer from textbook, our notebook kelas our notes, okay, dia minta 4 classes, but kat sini cikgu bagi all the 6 classes. So ingat kalau nak add water to break down the to break down the bonding, that is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis. Okay, clusters of hydrolysis where it catalyze the hydrolysis of substrate or breakdown of substrate by addition of water. Ini senang nak ingat. Lagi apa kelas? Isomerase kita buat dah masa sem 1 about the the isomerase allolactose, lactose apron. Okay, so nanti kita akan again belajar chapter 5. You are going to learn again the classes of isomerase where it catalyze isomerization. Atau dalam bahasa chemistry-nya, kamu cikgu tahu kamu pun faham, isomer ni is actually when that molecule rearrange the atom. Okay, so become its isomer. Macam lactose dengan allolactose. Itu isomerase lah. Ada enzim yang what we call as isomerase, the group of isomerase. Okay, to rearrange the atoms. Ligase kita belajar DNA ligase. Okay, which catalyze reaction to form and use ATP as energy source. Ligase ni memang perlu ATP. Kelas okay. So the rest transferase, obviously transferase, lysis, okay, cuma tak ada air. Dan kalau hydrolysis ada air, ini lysis, buang air, buang hydro jadi lysis. Okay, so easy for you to memorize because and then oxidoreductase. Okay. Alright, next cofactor soalan cofactor. Muka surat 20 soalan 4. Okay, so from the given figure, figure bagi kat sini apa kelas? Okay, as you can see, it labels molecule Y and molecule Z, right? Molecule Y and molecule Z. Okay, so as you can see here, suddenly after the ESC terbentuk kelas, enzyme substrate complex already formed. Okay, then you can see the byproduct. The byproduct, so that means Z is the substrate. Okay, from the given figure, okay, Z is the substrate. Okay, where after the reaction you can identify the products that produce. So what is Y class? What do you think is Y? Kat sini lah kamu kena faham, okay, the role of cofactor. Okay, tolong drop in the chat box class. Tolong tuliskan apa itu cofactor. Cikgu nak tulis kelas please drop in the meeting chat. Okay, Farina hadir, Elizati, okay, kelas tolong drop in the meeting chat. What is cofactor? Okay, if you still remember atau ingat semalam, cofactor, okay, is a non-protein molecule atau ion that required for the enzyme to proper functioning. Okay, class Okay, so please drop in the meeting chat class Cikgu share screen kan? You boleh nampak kelas kan? Hello kelas? Okay, you want to communicate dengan cikgu kelas Okay. So what is a cofactor? Okay, so cofactor is referring to the substance, which is not a protein. Okay, which is not a protein and it will not denature. So the substance is presented by what is more stable. Kenapa more stable? Because it is actually non-protein molecule. Chang Chaili okay. Right, okay, thank you. Boleh nampak, yes non-protein molecule, so it will not be denatured, right? Okay, next. Okay, why is a non-protein organic molecule that form a permanent? Okay, the keyword here is permanent class. Okay, cofactor ada 3 jenis. Okay, 2 temporarily bind, 1 yang permanent. So which one is the permanent one? Okay, so just take it in our syllabus. Terus direct kelas Okay, the prospectic group is the permanent cofactor. Okay, that will attach the enzyme and contoh yang paling popular is HAM. Is HAM. Okay, then how Y act to help some enzyme to function efficiently? So why kelas kenapa we need the prospectic group atau why we need the cofactor? Right, okay, so they function as a carrier and transfer group of atom atau single atom or electron from one molecule to another. So this one you all refer to our notes, okay, based on the concept of cofactor, okay, jenis prospectic group. Okay, prospectic group kalau you tengok kat situ, they are tight covalent bond with the enzyme. Okay, and their function you all tengok sekali kat situ kelas okay. It act as a electron carrier okay, function as electron carrier pun boleh. Okay, or electron from one molecule to another so that is how cofactor prospectic group play a role. So that's why kamu lihat kat sini jawapan dia beri ialah HAM okay, prospectic group jawapan dia ialah HAM okay. HAEM HAEM. Okay, so next cofactor lain yang loosely and temporary bind. Yes, another 2, coenzyme and metal ion. Okay, and name the cofactor that change the enzyme shape and make it easier. Yes, this one is a metal ion chloride, calcium, magnesium. Okay, itu contoh-contoh metal ion. Okay class so that is settle, discuss that one. Okay, do you have any question class regarding tutorial question? Okay, untuk inhibitor nanti cikgu nak you all semak dalam nanti I'll share the video Okay, I'll share the video from H2P5. So you may refer to the inhibitor question. Okay, so now teacher nak you turn to BAL Okay, BAL. Right, okay. I want you to pergi ke BAL. Okay, so we are going to discuss about question 5 Should I discuss question 5 class Okay, question 5 yang ada graph tu. Ini kelas teacher nak discuss this one. Alright, okay. So there are 2 graph A and graph B. Right, so which graph shows the presence of enzyme class? Okay, drop in the meeting chat graf mana yang menghasilkan. Okay, thank you Pang. Okay, mesti tengok kejap dalam, kita tengok dalam ni sekejap ya. Okay, so Pang ada bagi ni any non-protein molecule or ion that needed for proper functioning enzyme. Okay, thank you. Alright, so teruskan kelas soalan BAL. Okay, so which graph, right? Graph mana yang okay, kau tengok situ kelas ni, graph mana yang graph mana yang shows the presence of enzyme. Jadi how to detect kelas so you refer to the amount of energy that involved So kalau you tengok pada graph 1 ni, graph A tengok the compare to graph B. Okay, kelas graph A compare to graph B tadi. Okay. Ni graph A compare to graph B Okay, so graph A compare to graph B, which one is lower activation energy? A ke B kelas? Yeah, the answer should be B. So name the enzyme that involved in this case. Okay, in this case, because they are maltose, the substrate is maltose and the product is glucose. Dua glucose dua alpha glucose. We have learned this during your SEM 1 Okay, so substrate is the maltose. Jadi enzyme will be the maltase. Jadi soalan tanya based on the induced feed model, okay, from our syllabus, okay, soalan nak you all describe how enzyme can break down the maltose as a substrate to become its product glucose. So this is substrate. The substrate is maltose. Okay, and the glucose is the product. Jadi how? Jadi you all mention the kelas Okay, apa-apa pun mesti ada active site kelas. Mesti ada dalam ayat jawapan. Kalau tak dapat markah sebab mekanisme memang akan menghasilkan ESC konsep. Okay, ESC konsep kelas So the binding induce a change in the shape atau conformation of the active site. Okay, so the maltose akan bind slightly Okay, and dia akan induce, dia cuba juga fit into the active site of maltose. Okay, the active site become complementary, fully complementary, so it can form the enzyme substrate complex ataupun sebab kita tahu ni maltose kan. Jadi enzyme dia adalah maltase. Okay, maltase complex. Maltase complex. Alright, okay. So akhirnya 2 alpha glucose are formed. So nampak tak dalam soalan ni kelas dia highlightkan 2. Okay, so that means you have to mention 2 glucose terbentuk. So tak ada 2, tak ada markah. Because okay, so that one cikgu dah share yang tu. Okay, next teacher would like to graph B betul. Okay, next thank you Andrew Okay, next teacher nak discuss dengan you all graph inhibitor belakang sekali kelas Okay, this question. Okay, so yang ini nanti you all rujuk pada video kelas Cikgu habiskan dulu ni soalan structure yang lain. Okay, and then you may refer to video H2P5 nanti. Okay, let's do this induced feed mechanism. Another question. You can see here, enzyme, ni substrate ni substrate, ni enzyme. So when enzyme substrate complex terbentuk, ESC complex terbentuk, and then become product So soalan tanya what is the name of this mechanism? It's an induced feed mechanism. Boleh tak jawab key and lock mechanism kelas? Boleh tak? Tolong respon cikgu dalam chat. Okay, kalau you tengok detail kelas it cannot be the substrate is very, kalau you tengok pada ni the shape of the substrate, okay, is not exactly the same with the active site right? So that's why this is not the key and lock mechanism it is an induced feed mechanism. It's an induced feed mechanism. And how you describe the event? So you describe the event by, again, the same thing. Okay, substrate will bind to the active site, right? Okay, induce the enzyme to change its shape slightly so that the active site and the substrate will slightly alter the shape of the substrate in order to form enzyme substrate complex. Okay. Okay, next. Why we need enzyme? Okay, we need enzyme to lower the activation energy. And what happen kalau the rate of reaction? What happen to the rate of reaction? Walaupun kita banyak substrate. Okay, remember kelas ni dia ada limitation juga. Okay, apa-apa pun proses semua ada limitation Even though you keep on adding more substrate, but the level of rate of reaction akan become constant. That's it. Okay, dia akan capai the maximum rate right? Okay, so and then name two competitive two type of reversible inhibition. Okay, it's a competitive and non-competitive. Okay, and what are the example? Okay, for each example, okay, non-competitive inhibitor, it can be ATP, it can be isolysine, atau it can be cyanate. This one you may refer in our notes ada kelas And competitive inhibitor is malonic acid atau malonate. Ini adalah paling popular lah. Okay. So that one kita consider settle dah. Okay, soalan 5 dah. And then soalan 2 dah kelas Okay, soalan 2 dah. Okay, the last one. Okay, the last one is essay question. Let's mention kelas The essay question. Okay, wait Okay, the essay question is about cofactor. Okay, the essay enzyme is about cofactor. So how you need to describe the characteristic of two type of cofactor and their roles. So you all ambil lah mana-mana daripada 3 types. Okay, you just write down. But because this now we are discuss about this thing, so you have to write. Cikgu bagi semua kelas So let's say you pilih yang permanent. So phosphatic group nyatakan is a non-protein and bind tightly or permanent. So what is the important of this phosphatic group? Yes, kamu tulis involved in the catabolic function in the enzyme ataupun tadi you all tulis hem tadi. Okay, where it will transfer. Okay, it will act as an electron carrier pun boleh Okay, coenzyme pula macam contohnya kita cikgu sebut nanti dalam tajuk chapter 5 you are going to meet this one you are going to learn about this coenzyme. Okay, contoh yang kita keep on saying is NAD+. Right? Okay, so that means class vitamin B semua adalah actually derived from this coenzyme actually derived from vitamin B. Derived of vitamin especially group vitamin B, also example of coenzyme which is a non-protein Okay, so it helps to transfer chemical group. And then the last but not least, like teacher always mention, chloride, zinc, calcium, ferrum, magnesium. These are all the example of metal ion where it will temporarily bind juga macam coenzyme. Okay, so the function is the role of the role of metal ion tadi kelas Okay, so it will remember kepada enzyme where you need to create a suitable suitable environment So the role is to change active site to make the shape more suitable for the reaction to take place. Okay, so that is overall soalan untuk biocatalysis. Okay, so untuk inhibitor you all boleh rujuk kepada rujuk kepada video nanti kelas okay, I will share with you. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Okay, so hoping you all dapat, and make sure class you all settle biocatalysis tutorial and also BAL, okay, in order for you to get ready for your PSPM nanti. Okay, so that's all class. Thank you for today. Okay, see you next week. So next week, like teacher mentioned, chapter 5, you are going to prepare the group work, okay? So we're going to discuss it together. Alright, class Thank you, class. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita sudahi dengan tasbih kifarah dan surah wal as. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Thank you, class. Bye.